Hello everyone, CM Freeze here, and it really pains me to make this video, but I just have to do it. And the Atlanta Hawks are just a complete mess right now, and they have no clue what they're doing. I am a full-time Atlanta fan. I love the Falcons, I love the Hawks, love Georgia. All of them but the Braves, really, but that doesn't matter. And as a Hawks fan, as a lifelong Hawks fan, I've had some ups and some downs, and right now, the Hawks have no structure. It is absolutely crazy what I'm watching unfold, and just so deflating as a fan, because the Hawks are stuck in mediocrity. And it seems like they're fine with that. And I think being a mediocre team has got to be the worst level of team to be. Obviously, you would prefer to be an elite team, or you'd prefer to be a contender. Or hell, the 76ers, I think, even got it made. They're guaranteed to lose in the divisional round. Shit, I wouldn't mind losing in the divisional round every single year. Maybe not every single year, but at least your team makes it deep into the playoffs, and it's nice, you get to see them for longer, and you can actually say your team's good. Then there's the bottom of the barrel teams, and it's like, if you're ass and you're, a top 5 worst team in the league, well, then you get a great draft pick, and typically you have really good salary. Look at the Pistons. Obviously the Pistons suck, but at least they keep on getting top talent. Look at the Spurs. Spurs were shit for 1 year. They lucked out and got one of the best draft prospects we've seen in forever. And the Spurs also have a lot of picks right now. There's teams that just blew it all up, like the Portland Trail Blazers. They were stuck in mediocrity, traded away all their guys, and now they have an ass ton of picks. Same with the OKC Thunder. They couldn't make it. They blew it up, have an ass ton of picks. So there are some teams right now that are bad, but they have a lot of draft capital, and they have some really good salary cap, and they can turn it around. So I'm just switching over to here. So first off, let me start with the main reason why I'm making this video, and it's the trade deadline. So this article has now recently come out, and people are expecting that the reason that we didn't do anything is because we're going to trade Trae Young this offseason. This article also mentions, though, that we are one of only 5 teams, somewhere in here, we're one of only 5 teams that didn't make a single trade this offseason. And I have a couple of things I'd like to say on that. One, we got to be the worst fucking team in the league when it comes to how we go about our trade process. We leak that all of our players are available for trade. Like, how is it that everyone knows that everyone's untouchable except Trae Young and Jalen Johnson? I remember so many reports saying that, oh yeah, Hawks have said everyone's untouchable except Trae Young and Jalen Johnson. But now this report's coming out and saying that Trae Young is available, and the reason we didn't make any trades is because we're going to trade him. And that's really stupid, because if we look at our team and say that Trae Young is the reason that we're losing games, if we trade Trae Young, we better trade everyone. I'm being dead serious when I say that. If we want to do a complete rebuild from the top up and do what the Portland Trail Blazers are doing, you know what? I would hate to see it happen. I love Trae Young. He's been my favorite Hawks player to watch of all time, in the last 20 years. He's only 25 years old. Isn't that crazy that Trae Young's only 25 and he's been our best player ever since we drafted him? I absolutely love Trae Young, but I can see why the organization might want to trade him. We would at least need 3 first-round picks, and that's just the start of the conversation. I better see 3 first-round picks and 1 or 2 quality players to go along with the Trae Young trade. Rudy Gobert just got traded for 5 first-round picks. We traded DeAndre Murray for 3 first-round picks. Trae Young is at least worth 3. I better be seeing 4 or 3 and a quality good starter. Trae Young is that kind of guy. The Hawks are just a mess. And we suck at trading. Apparently everyone's on the trade block. First it was John Collins. First, it was every single year John Collins was on the trade block, and then we never got back what we wanted because everybody knew we were trying to ship him. So everyone was saying, hey, you don't want this guy on your team. Why are you asking for first round picks? Then we traded Collins for a fucking second round pick. We just got a second. He sucks. He's not playing good in Utah, but we only got a second round pick for John Collins. Now we're doing the same exact shit with DeAndre Murray. Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. I'm just really upset with the Hawks right now, and there's many things I'd like to say. And GM, we need to fire some people. Honest to God, we need to fire some people. These guys right here, Landry Fields, who's been our general manager for the last 2 years, and Travis Salenk, these guys need to go. We promoted this guy in 2022, so he had the 2023 season and this season, and so far he's made a couple of decent trades for us on paper. It's not like they're really doing anything right now. The Hawks have no clue what to do with DeAndre Murray. Absolutely no clue what to do with DeAndre Murray. Whenever I watch the Hawks play, it's like Trae Young and DeAndre Murray don't play well together. They just are on the court. There's no plays designed where Young and DeAndre Murray play off one another. Every single time, it's either Trae Young takes the ball up the court and he'll either do a screen with Capella, or he'll just pass the ball away, or he'll drive it to the court himself, or DeAndre Murray runs it up the court and does the same exact thing. We have 2 ones on the court at the same time. And DeAndre Murray needs to either, I don't know if it's coaching, play calling, or DeAndre Murray just doesn't want to be a 2. Trae Young needs to clearly be the point guard, and DeAndre Murray clearly needs to be our shooting guard. Murray needs to take more of a role of a 2. Trae Young needs to be taking up the ball almost every single time, and the offense needs to be going through Trae Young every single time. DeAndre Murray needs to learn to accept that, or we need to coach him better. I don't know if it's either coaching or Murray, but DeAndre Murray seems to want to stay here, and reports also came out that Quinn Snyder really likes DeAndre Murray and wants DeAndre Murray on the team. But reports have also came out that he really likes Trae Young and really wants Trae Young on the team. And we're just such a mess right now. We're all over the place and we can't make up our minds. And it just sucks because coming off of that 2020-21 season where we made it to the conference championship, I had so much hope for the team. I had so much hope for this Hawks team. And then next year comes out and we basically run it back with the same guys. We're like, hey, our guys will develop. And we take a step back, not a big step back, but we take a step back, go in as the 8th seed and just get smoked by the Heat. And we just kind of ran into a brick wall in the Heat, but we needed to play better. And after that series, that's when Landry Fields steps up as GM. First thing he does is he makes that DeAndre Murray trade. And on paper, and at the time, I was really happy with that trade. We gave up 3 first-round picks. You know, as we can see here, I mean, I'll talk about this in a second. First, let me continue to go about DeAndre Murray. I really liked the trade at this time. And in that first year, I also even had hope at the end of the 2023 season. We were so mediocre. What was it, 30 straight games where we were 1 game within 500 at NBA streak? That was so frustrating. The definition of mediocre. And like I said, you don't want to be a mediocre team, because at least if you're ass, then you usually have a lot of draft capital and a lot of cap space. If you're good, then you're in the playoffs. The Hawks are average right now. We've made it into the play-in the last 2 years. It looks like we're going to make it to the play-on again in the 3rd year. Somehow, if we even win the play-in, we're going to be probably the 8th seed and have to go up against the Celtics and just get smacked again. But last year in 2023, when we went up against the Celtics, I had a lot of hope, because we lost that series 2-4, but we could have won that game 6. In that game 6, we were up by, I think, about like 5 points with 5 minutes, and then just proceeded to shit the bed the last 5 minutes of that game. It was so heartbreaking to watch. We were up like the entire time in that game 6 against the Celtics, and then just fucking plateaued the last 5 minutes of that Celtics game. It was disgusting. But we went 4-2 against the team that ended up making it to the NBA Finals, and I had a lot of hope for that team. And now this 2024 season, man, all that hope has just been completely deflated. In the offseason, we didn't make a single trade. Not one. Oh, wait, we traded John Collins for a second round pick. My bad. So, and we decided to run it back with the team that we had. I'm guessing we assumed that under Quinn Snyder, he would be able to lead this team to victory and develop the team. And that's not happening at all right now. We're having the worst season that we've had in the last 3 years since we did make it to that conference finals. We currently have the third best offense in the NBA, but are dead last in defense. You watch the Hawks play, they don't give a fuck on defense. It's like they have no intensity at all. First, though, let me talk about these picks. We have two first-round picks this year. 2 first-round picks, our own and the Kings pick. And I say that we are just a mess right now because we decided to stay put and do absolutely nothing. I would have A, preferred that we just blew it up, or B, said, you know what? I think we have Trae Young. DeAndre Murray will get going. We got Bogey. We got Jalen Johnson. Let's get another really good player in there to go with the team. Preferably some defense. Either a big or a 4. You know, I really like our front court. DeAndre Murray's questionable. We'll get to that later. But I would have probably preferred if we sold at the trade deadline, honestly. I'm looking at this team. Also because we have no draft capital. So we have 2 first-round picks this year, right? After this year, though, 2025, don't have a first. 2026, we do, but it's the worst between us and the Spurs. 2027, don't have a first-round pick. We also only have a second-round pick in 2027, a second-round pick in 2026, and 1 second-round pick in 2025. This year we have no second-round picks, by the way. So in 2025 we have 1 second-round pick. In 2026 we have a first and a second, and in 2027 we have a second. We have basically no draft capital except this year, which we have 2 firsts. And also this draft class is considered to be one of the weaker draft classes also that are out there. Definitely nothing like the last couple of draft classes that we've had. It's infuriating. I would have preferred that we sold and picked up on draft capital because right now we have barely any draft capital. We have draft capital this year, and after this year we got nothing. And we have draft capital in a weaker NBA class. We just sat there and did nothing. We saw our 22 and 29 record and did nothing. And maybe that's because last year we traded for DeAndre Murray and Sadiq Bey, and we thought that that was going to be enough to get it done, and it just wasn't. And it's turning out that this DeAndre Murray trade was not good for us at all. And like I said previously, I don't know if it's because he doesn't want to take a lesser role and just be a 2, or if it's because of coaching and Quinn Snyder just doesn't know how to make them work together. I just want to take a quick minute to go over just the plus and the minus for the Hawks this season. And the first thing that stands out to me is, well, 1, Bogey, and how just phenomenal he's been for us this season. But 2 is DeAndre Murray, man. He's got the worst plus minus for the Hawks this season. And it's just, I remember when we traded for him because everyone was saying that he was going to be a really good defender and that he's really good at covering, point guards. And I don't know where that went. He must have fucking left that in San Antonio. It sure as hell did not show up in Atlanta. DeAndre Murray just doesn't play defense. And I know a lot of people hate on Trae Young and say Trae Young also doesn't play defense. Trae Young is a better defender than people think. I'm not saying he's a good defender by any means, but shit, man, right now where I'm standing, Trae Young might be a better defender than DeAndre Murray. And that's just the plain truth. At least Trae Young cares more. DeAndre Murray you just watch some times, man. He just fucking doesn't care. But again, he wanted to be here and he signed a pretty good contract. He signed a fair contract to be here. I don't get it, man. I don't get what's going on right now. There's something going on with Young and Murray, and one of them's going. And unfortunately, it seems like it's going to be Trae Young, which I just makes me sick to my stomach if that's the case, because Trae Young's the best thing for this team, man. He's been the leader of this team, and he's been the best player, hands down. And I think if you build around Trae Young and build around his strengths, we have a great team. Unfortunately, we aren't building around his strengths at all. We're not. Danielle Hunter, I fucking hate Danielle Hunter. So there are many reasons why I hate Danielle Hunter. But just looking at our contracts, man. Dude is our third highest player, and he's not good. Danielle Hunter's not good. I remember last season I saw that we gave him a 4-year, like $80 million extension. And I'm thinking, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing with Danielle Hunter, man? Every single game, Danielle Hunter will have like one good game every 5 games and then just look like trash 4 out of 5 games. I don't know why we paid Danielle Hunter that much money. He needs to go. But we gave him a huge contract extension, so I think maybe we're afraid to trade him. I don't know if our GM's right now playing for his job. I don't know what's going on right now at all. Clint Capella also needs to go. I understand that, look, I see Trae Young's cap figure, but he's being paid superstar money. He deserves it. Clint Capella needs to go. Danielle Hunter needs to go. Bogey, I love him, but he's old, and realistically, if we blow up the team, then we should trade him because he won't be on a winning team if we blow up the team. Arguably, all these guys need to go. We need to blow up the entire team. Plain and simple. Like, I don't get what our plan is because I keep on hearing stories from 2 different sides constantly, and just we've been mediocre the last 2 years, but at least the last 2 years I've had hope that we could get better. And this year we've just hit a brick wall and then just did nothing at the trade deadline and just sat. And I'm really hoping that that just means that our game plan is to just wait it out and see how the rest of the season goes and then make assessments from there. I really thought that this team had a chance with the core that they had to be able to make it to a finals. And we've just under that. We don't play off our best player's strengths and Trae Young. We don't play off his best strengths. The team, you would like to see development, and they just aren't developing. Danielle Hunter has stayed at the same level since we drafted him. Clint Capella is declining. Bogdanovich is playing great. I love seeing this resurgence from him, but you would love to see some of these younger guys getting more playing time, and it's just, I feel like we're just wasting the season, and we just pissed the season away. And it's not going to get any better because we don't have a lot of cap and we don't have a lot of draft picks. We got draft picks this year to do something with, and then we basically got no draft picks the next 3 years. So I'll just have to wait and see what the Hawks do, but it just sucks seeing a season like this where we aren't good enough to make a deep playoff run, but we aren't bad enough to end up getting a top pick. I just wish we did something. I honestly just wish we did, because this season has just been so infuriating to watch. And it's like, the team has no heart right now. And maybe that is why you trade Trae Young, because he is the leader of the team, and you're thinking, well, Trae Young just isn't giving it his all. We need more fire out of him or something. I don't know. The organization is such a mess right now, and there's so many reports coming out left and right. People need to be fired. We need to blow up the team. We just need to hit the reset button, because where it is right now, I do not trust the team to get it done. I've had hope the last 2 years that the Hawks could do it. I had hope this year going into it that we could do it, and we look like trash. Not to mention, we have a really hard schedule for the rest of the year too, so we're going to finish either 9, 10, or 11. That's the truth. We're going to finish 9, 10, or 11. And it's just such a disappointing season. I really hope that we figure it out. I do, but it's not going to be this season. And next season, unfortunately, I think I might be seeing Trae Young, who's my favorite Hawks player the last 10 years, go. And I just hope that we don't fuck up that trade. Because if we do, then I'm just going to have to hope and pray that the Georgia Bulldogs keep doing well, because so right now they're the only team that I have I can rely on. But I know this video is kind of all over the place. I could have been structured better, but I just feel like this type of video is better because you're getting my true emotions out of it. I am telling you how I feel, and you are actually seeing how a real fan is reacting to it. Not this like analytical bullshit that, analysis and like NBA reporters do. If you want that kind of video, there are plenty of articles that go over all the details, but I'm giving you my emotions and why we have shit cap, we have shit draft picks, worst fucking defense in the league, no heart right now. Quinn Snyder's seeming like to be a fucking ass hiring at head coach. The Andre Murray trade is not looking good at all. I still have no clue why we assigned DeAndre Hunter to the contract we did. I hate DeAndre Hunter, weakest part of the team by a country mile. Clint Capella needed to be gone last season. I don't know why he's still there. We're just fine being average. And no one wants to be average. This has been CM Freeze. Peace.